security that St. Simon's Town and Boulders. Folks, this is Chris Wyatt reporting from South Africa. Hello, folks. Welcome back once again. It's Friday, August 16th, 2024, and my software updated. Hopefully, my microphone is working. It appears in my studio to work, but we have seen in the past where the software has lied after an update. Welcome back on a Friday. Thank you for being here, the 16th of August, 2024. Herzliche Glückwünsche alle Zuschauer in Deutschland, Österreich und wo sonst? Ja, der Schweiz. Und überall auf der Welt, wo man Deutsch spricht, auch hier in Pennsylvania, für uns Pennsylvanian Dutch, die sind eigentlich Deutscher, aber wir haben das falsch genannt, Deutsch, sondern Dutch. Naja, heute ist Freitag, der 16. August 2024 und wir haben viele Nachrichten heute für euch. Bonjour tous, je suis très heureux que vous êtes là avec nous. Aujourd'hui, on ne peut pas parler au sujet de Thierry Breton, le devil, les mauvais garçons qui viennent de Paris, au sujet d'Elon Musk. Non, on ne peut pas parler au cet sujet aujourd'hui. Nous avons quelques quotidiennes qui viennent de l'Afrique du Sud. Et on commence après quelques minutes en anglais. Bonjour. Otsihilijan, Botswana, hein? Dumela, Botswana. Rochandet, South Africa. How's it going there? South Africa, Mzansi, Zania, whatever folks call that lovely country. Welcome back to the program. For those of you in Ireland, in the UK, in Germany, in Finland, if Laurie Lettinen is here, or oh, wow, Andre Jacob out there in China who seems to disappear. Have the Chinese locked him up in a concentration camp somewhere? We wonder. How's everybody doing around the world, from New Zealand, from Australia? Getting ready for the game in Perth in just a matter of hours, ladies and gentlemen. Less than 24 hours. Let's get ready to rumble. It will be the Wallabies hosting the Springboks at Optus Stadium in Perth, also known as South Africa East. Let's see who's in the chat on this lovely Friday. Of course, the music entering the show was none other than the lovely Giselle, a beautiful Namibian singer and mother who lives in Gauteng, originally from Namibia. Well, folks, let's see who's in the chat and say hi to everybody. That, of course, was her song Borjol, which is someone else's song, but she records. It's a cover song. And then, of course, für uns Mensa. Keith Alderson is in from Coventry. Welcome to you. Arc Precision is here. Teresa. Vilma Rasmus. Smee again is back again. George Steinberg in from Heckport. And then Pierre Orban. Val Cooper. Hey, Val. Val is very happy she can comment again. Val, I don't know how that happened again. Thank you for being patient and persistent. And I'm glad I finally saw it in there. But like I said, it wasn't there. Yeah, there's an Erica profile blocked and a Yanni Meyer. And they're not the real Yanni Meyer Erica, which is weird. George, welcome to you. Rainier and Mark Purchase. Who else have we got in here? Charmaine, Giuseppe Garibaldi, Ulrich Fenter, and then Shawnee. Diane McMeekin. Welcome back, Diane. Welcome back, Shawnee. My mind is going blank now, unburdened from all that's been. Yeah, and I didn't play those today. Yeah, man, even nonetheless, your mind is going blank, and you are unburdened by what has been. Yeah, no, the full-on press, the full-court press, the free press, the lying press, the misleading statements, the effort to remake and put lipstick on the pig that is the Democratic candidates is really reaching epically hilarious proportions today. But that's not what we're going to talk about to start this program. We're going to talk about Julius Malema, the economic freedom fighters, Floyd Shivambu, and the MK Party, and what's going on there. And then we'll move on to other topics, including Botswana returning its Olympic sports icon, not hero, icon, and then their rude diss to the American Noah Lyles, a gold and bronze medalist in this Olympics. Anyway, let's talk about that. Let's get right on into the news here, folks, on this Friday. After this, I'll be taking a brief pause, and then it's rugby on Rugby Summit. It's the Bulls traveling down to Nelspruit to Mbombela Stadium to take on the Pumas, Jimmy Stone Street's Pumas, who are all over the place. One day they're world beaters, one day they suck, and we'll see how they perform today. But that's going on here shortly, so thanks for joining us. Let's get to the news very quickly here. Kojisenso Ramakopa, the electric slide minister, is canceling tender for 2.5 gigawatts of electricity. What's going on here? Doesn't South Africa need more electricity? Is this short-sighted? Why is he doing it? Hey, Bosch Zepper, welcome to you. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's short-sighted. Who can say? We're going to have to wait to hear from Ramakopa himself. In fact, he mentions it here in this story. I'm withdrawing the Gazette to allow public participation to happen. Aha! So that's interesting. Hang on a second. Yeah, sorry about that, folks. Just taking care of something there. So 2.5 gigawatts of power generation being pulled out. The parties are saying when the department came back with a report on how they are going to meet the suspensive conditions, instead of NERSA sitting on its own, applying its mind and giving the final concurrence, they're arguing NERSA had an obligation to subject the report to suspensive condition to another process of public participation. Huh? So basically what they're saying is that the process was done illegitimately, illegally, that the public wasn't involved in a way that it should have been. And so Ramakopa is not canceling it. He's simply putting it back out there for the public to be involved. Well, that's interesting. That's interesting. Maybe Koji Senso Ramakopa is actually good at being electricity minister. Who knows? Give it time. Wow. He issued the original Section 34 determination gazette in January of this year following concurrence by NERSA. But legal challenges were lodged by the Democratic Alliance and civil society organizations, Earth, Life, Africa, and Southern African Faith Communities Environment Institute, SAFCIA. The DA argued that the determination is procedurally unfair, linked to the changeover of powers and duties between Mantashe and Ramakopa when the latter took over electricity portfolio. Ramakopa claimed that the issue raised by the DA is not material, but Earth, Life, and SAFCIA, those proved to be more substantive. They argued differently. Anyway, the bottom line is that the 2.5 gigawatt nuclear power plant is off the table for now. They're going to have to redo this. And Arc Precision hits his spot on. Code for the wrong friends got the order. That's right. The wrong patronage order went out, and it has to be fixed now. Corruption, thy name is South Africa. Well, actually, it's all over the planet, all these folks. Wow, do we really only have 38 people here on a Friday? What is going on? Wow, look at this. On my mobile edition, oh, we have 50. Okay. Now we have 40. What the heck? Look at this. Look at this nonsense. We had 50 a moment ago. Now we're down to 40. YouTube, you are just so evil, evil, evil. Tenderizing the steak for who? Exactly. The wonders of lasagna and the Marxist terrorist state. Yep, you guys are hitting it spot on. And I'm curious why we've zipped down to so few people now on the program. You are such nasty people, YouTube. With that, I'm going to take a break. By the way, every time I think I'm going to get a haircut, I look at this feathering, and it's just, that's just natural. All I did was take a brush and go through it once, and look at that, man. Now, it gets a little bit longer. It gets unruly. Actually, some clown on Twitter, somebody took, was it Heinz, I think it was on Twitter, took the first couple minutes of my broadcast when I announced that Floyd Shivamba was leaving the EFF yesterday morning in my breaking news story. Took the first 2 minutes, which is actually funny. I didn't, I didn't watch it because I was doing it. And then he put it on Twitter. So I took that and I loaded up on the channel. A few people have watched that. And somebody on Twitter said, "Who's this dirty man?" Dirty? How do you know I'm dirty? What, do you got you're on your knees between my legs? You know if I'm dirty? Is that how you know I'm dirty? What are you talking about? I'm clean. I shower before every program. You're just nasty, evil, evil people who have no respect for other human beings, let alone for someone accomplished like myself. You're the kind of person that wouldn't last 3 seconds in uniform. Trust me. Oh, our buddy is here again. Let's see what he's got to say before he gets spanked today, or we just ignore him. There goes the Colonel again. When the DA and the Freedom Front Plus imploded, he never came out to tell us. So now that's this party of ugly folks. He comes out. What a lying sack of horse shit. Well, I'll address that because we know it's factually untrue. When the DA, after this election, the DA has never imploded. They've just never risen. When the DA failed to gain anything, I was the first journalist to report when people were saying the DA did well in this election. The DA did not do well. The DA did not do well. When the DA lost control of municipalities in Western Cape in the 2021 municipal elections, I was the only journalist who pointed that out, either on YouTube or on any other means. Finally, other people started doing it. And you're just a liar. Wait, do you have no morality whatsoever? And I also, in this election, pointed out how the Freedom Front Plus lost badly. I pointed out accurately how it wasn't the Patriotic Alliance that poached voters that caused the DA not to go anywhere. in the Western Cape. It was the DA poaching Freedom Front Plus voters, crushing the Freedom Front in the Western Cape, gravitating back to the Democratic Alliance, which kept them steady and caused them not to fall. While some voters migrated to the PA, colored voters, not so many. Most of the people of the PA that got to vote for them were people that hadn't been voting. So what an evil, nasty person. Are you just really always that nasty? Yeah, wow. So once again, this lying sack of horse manure, race hustling piece of human filth, whoever and is coming on here and lying about it. The record's there. The videos are there. The analysis is there. Even published articles I've written. You just lie. And the problem is that morons believe the stupidity that people like and put up there. The world is full of sad, pathetic losers who just can't let go of their penis long enough to enjoy life. Okay, that's enough talking about N. All right, so Julius Malema announces changes to the EFF leadership. Yeah, I imagine so. The deputy president is gone. Floyd Shivambu has left the party. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an announcement in Terminal B. Julius Malema is in tears, and over in Terminal C, boarding a Flystaf Air flight out of Gauteng to Durban, it's none other than Floyd Shivambu, carrying a VBS embroidered gym bag. That's right, Floyd Shivambu with his VBS embroidered kit walking out the door of the EFF. EFF leader Julius Malema has briefed the media on Thursday, and he said that, hey, we got to change our leadership because Shivambu is God. Well, EFF leadership now in turmoil as deputy president resigns from the party. There's our favorite race hustling journalist right there. That guy loves to always tell stories, and he doesn't give faction. That's the same guy that ran the story on Ronaldo. The same guy that better hope that the lawyers for IOL are prepared to defend him for defamation. Floyd Shivambu, the deputy president of the Economic Freedom Fighters, reportedly resigned from the party. Well, it's not reportedly. He told us himself. He told us himself, buddy. Of course, the story's a little bit old now. Yeah. It comes a week after the VBS chair, Shafiwa Matadodzi, alleged that Malema and Shivambu were implicated in accepting illegal benefits from the bank. Wow. Matadodzi himself pled guilty to 33 charges, including corruption, theft, money laundering. He stated the EFF has received monthly donations and a so-called business loan of millions of rands from the bank since 2017 through a fund company called Sakameka Projects. Ladies and gentlemen, this violates South African election law, which has been amended since, and now you can donate anything when nobody knows about it. You don't have to report it. But the EFF failed to report these donations for the past 5 years. Therefore, they are in breach of South African election law, and all of them in charge of the party should be brought up on charges. And why is nobody talking about this? This is actually a breach of election law. You must report donations in excess of a certain amount. You must report these things. 100,000 Rand, if I'm not mistaken. You must report this. Maybe it's 15,000 Rand. I don't call exactly. But you must report all those donations. The EFF has reported 0 donations. They've never said they've got money from anybody. They have lied. They have committed blatant fraud in the electoral process. In fact, I think they should be taken to court and their 39 seats removed in Parliament because they're all criminals. They're all criminals. Nothing works from my laptop. My like doesn't register. Can't super chat, but everything works on the phone. It's crazy, Diane. Thank you for your patience and being on the phone. We'd love to see your chat in here. So I don't know what's going on. Don't know what's going on. Smee says one must have extremely low IQ to hang around on a channel that they don't agree with. No, Smee, you have to understand it gives a release of endorphins to sad, pathetic losers that like to do that. There are millions of content creators, and if you don't like the content, just leave here. It's as simple as that. One day we're going to find out who N is because N is not bright enough to hide his identity forever. You know, you're not very original. N, what does that stand for? Nincompoop? Anyway, Julius Malema vows loyalty to the EFF. Yes. Vows loyalty to the EFF till the end amid the Floyd Shivambu exit. The leader of the Economic Freedom Fighters, Little Juju, declared during a farewell gathering after his deputy president resigned that his coffin would be draped with the EFF flag. Ah, are you leaving us, GJ? Oh, Julius is leaving us. I remain a loyal and disciplined member of the EFF, and my coffin will be draped with the flag of the EFF, even if I remain alone. Look how stupid and lazy the IOL is. This is, look, in the middle of a sentence, they capitalize my. My is not capitalized. What kind of morons do that? This is very poor editors. This is not a real newspaper outlet. This is a vanity project for Suivre. The guys better have a good team of lawyers, I'll tell you that. Crocotopia, good to see you again from London. Welcome in. Floyd Shivambu's exit from the EFF caught the party by surprise, says Juju. Look at him smiling. He's gritting through his teeth there. Gritting through his teeth. I wonder what that podium cost. 40,000 Rand probably. Paint that thing red. We formed this organization together, and I told him that resigning from the EFF is like resigning from himself because this is his organization. Now, a number of people have been commenting on my videos saying that, well, I'm not very bright. You don't get what's going on here. This is a coup. This is clever. The EFF is sending Floyd Shivambu in to overtake MK. You really think the party that was completely caught off guard by the rise of MK, the party that was obliterated in KwaZulu-Natal by MK when all of their members switched from EFF voting to MK, do you really think this party that has never run a single municipality, that has never run a single province, that has never accomplished a single thing in parliament is that bright? People who keep attaching all this brilliance to these people is silly. The people that are bright in the EFF are the wealthy people behind them, not the puppets that have their strings pulled like Julius Malema and Floyd Shivambu. They are not the bright ones. They're not the clever ones. For years, we've been hearing how clever Julius Malema is. He's a dipshit. He's a dumbass. He's about as bright as a 2-watt light bulb. And he is clever only in the sense that he's connected and protected. Julius Malema is connected and protected because he's the useful foil for the ANC. But the ANC doesn't even need him anymore. You notice how the ANC never talks about Julius Malema anymore at all. They don't need him to distract from their theft, their corruption, their incompetence. Now they have MK. They don't need EFF. They're completely ignoring the EFF. Notice that? Notice that? Yes. Juju said that he cried like when his mommy died. Well, is Shivambu's move to the MK a master plan to bolster progressive forces on top of the government national unity? How? They don't have the votes. How? This poor excuse for political analysis by Bongile Makune Siyamtanda Kapta and Soviso Matifi. These guys playing and be journalists and analysts. It's funny. The exit of Floyd Shivambu from the EFF is likely part of a bigger plan by the so-called Progressive Caucus to consolidate power ahead of the 2026 and 2029 elections. So why do you need to leave the EFF to consolidate power? The Progressive Caucus includes the MK Party. Why did you need to leave the EFF to join the MK Party to consolidate power? It's nonsensical. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Oh my goodness. These people get paid by News 24, Propaganda 24 to give analysis. News 24 understands that the move by Shivambu is part of a bigger plan of an amalgamation strategy by the Progressive Caucus and its efforts to topple the government of national unity ahead of local government elections in 2026 and general elections in 2029, leaning on the strong support base of the MK Party. So how? So 58 members of parliament and 39 members of parliament is not a majority. Even when you team up with the likes of the idiots of Al Jamaa, it's not a majority. Socialist Revolutionary Workers Party, no seats. How do you undermine? Now, the elections for 2026 for municipal elections are already being undermined. They don't need Floyd Shivambu and MK to do that. They're doing that all on their own by approaching councillors in KwaZulu-Natal and saying, listen, we want you to resign as a councillor. Well, why would I resign? Well, because then you're going to run as our candidate in MK Party, and we guarantee you'll get elected, and we'll reward you for that. That's already going on. That doesn't require Floyd Shivambu. What kind of analysis is this? This is unbelievable. News 24 understands. News 24 is making crap up. The Progressive Caucus is made up of the EFF, the MK Party, the African Transformation Movement, the United Africans Transformation, and the National Colored Congress. Wow. None of that put together means anything. You need 201 seats to have a majority in the parliament out of 400 seats. 58 and 39, 58, 68, 78, 88. 97 plus the ATM is 98 plus Does the UAT even have a seat? I don't think so. National Color Congress has one. That's 99. Ooh, so they have half of what they need. Ooh, Hercules. What brilliant analysis going on here by News 24. One source said this is part of consolidating progressive forces for the forthcoming elections by utilizing the expertise of experienced people like Floyd to aid the MK party with its weaknesses, which have been laid bare in the first few weeks of Parliament. You think Floyd Shivambu is an accomplished legislator? No, he's an accomplished liar and race hustler. Yeah. And an accomplished, affiliate of the VBS Bank, whatever that means. Maybe he's a banker. Maybe Floyd Shivambu is a banker. He can be the guy that, gets the MK party money. Who knows? Yes, we did have a Nonga that was here before. It's probably him. Well, Floyd is the only engine that kept the small dignity of the EFF. Oh, really? This is what people say. Reactions. This lady, Zoli Tembu, always reminds me of Dudu Zulu. Well, this is how people reacted. Floyd Shivambu is set to resign as EFF deputy president amid external and internal tensions. Any person with a patriotic merit is loving this. Floyd is the only engine that kept the small dignity on the EFF. You did right, Shivambu. South Africans are right behind you all the way. Nobody gives a crap about Floyd Shivambu. What a comical post. Not Floyd Shivambu resigning from the EFF. Julius Malema on WhatsApp crying. Beautiful moment. Now, that's a good statement. Floyd Shivambu leaving the EFF is something I never expected. It's not looking good. The EFF died the day my GOAT, greatest of all time, Malema, sided with illegal foreigners and swore at us, South Africans. There is no going back. Malema will one day end up going back to the ANC or MK. The EFF is going down like the Congress of the People did. Well, that's all pretty much true. Floyd Shivambu's left the EFF. I'm numb. I'm hurt beyond measure. I feel pain everywhere. Yo, Modimo. Not our beloved deputy president. I can't breathe. I think that's a sarcastic one. I can't breathe. I can see pain and disappointment in Julius Malema's eyes when he discusses Floyd Shivambu's departure. This unexpected betrayal cuts deep, and it's truly heartbreaking to witness their political and personal relationship crumble. Heartbreaking? No. The dead farmers, the raped women, the raped men, the murdered, butchered children on farms. I don't have any empathy for these scumbags in the EFF. The quicker that they are excised from society and consigned to the dustbin of history for their race hustling, their violent hatred, and their scumbag behavior, the better off the world will be. No one will miss the EFF when it's gone. Well, the 95 Libyans have had the charges against them dropped. The only charge it was going to hold was contravening immigration law. But apparently they're not getting a 5-year ban on their passports. They're just being deported. I don't know if they've been deported yet, but it was reported yesterday that they're supposed to be out of the country within 48 hours. Doctors are turning on Cyril Ramaphosa and this communist socialist commie plot to destroy South Africa's economy, known as the National Health Insurance Plan. Yep. Presidency announced this week the president would be signing the compact, which represents an accord of strategic intent among the stakeholders that sign it. Well, the doctors say no. The 2024 compact has taken a very explicit stance of having national health insurance scheme underpin the strategy. South African Health Professionals Collaboration, a national group of 9 medical, dental, and allied health care practitioners associations representing more than 25,000 dedicated private and public health care sector workers, said it will not sign the compact, blaming national health insurance. Well, there you go. So the docs aren't going to sign the compact. So you are screwed. It ain't going to work. Yep. High Court grants separate trials for VBS heist accused, but denies a stay of prosecution. Why do you want to stay the prosecution? Well, because they want to. Gauteng High Court granted an application today by VBS Mutual Bank heist accused former Limpopo ANC Treasurer Danny Mziza and former ANC Youth League leader Kabelo Matsepe to have their trial separated from that of the co-accused. Now, isn't there an interesting pattern here? Julius Malema, ANC Youth League leader, Matsepe, Youth League leader, both corruption accused. What's going on over there? Mark Purchase says, is this the reason why Floyd resigned? Because the Hawks have all the evidence of spending spree with a credit card? Yeah, probably. Or return state's evidence. Action SA wants the Hawks to investigate EFA leader Julius Malema and the deputy avoid alleged. Well, yeah, Action SA wants lots of things, but they have no power anywhere, and they're just squawking. But at least they're not race hustling, which is what Herman Mashaba's been doing a lot of lately. It's very disappointing to see that. Nazir, I don't think so. Anyway. There's a detective crisis in South Africa. There are not enough detectives. Maybe we should get Ann on the job. Ann, are you available to be a detective? You're insightful research and your deep, witty commentary really could be used by police investigative services. Not. Responding to a question from Rise Mzansi, MP Makashile Ghana, the police minister Senzo Mchunu said that South Africa Police Service currently employs 22,413 detectives, but there are 8,594 vacancies for detectives across the country. Wow. 8,594 detectives, folks. Let's do a quick math on that. That's 1/3 of the strength. Yeah, easily. Let's just calculate that. Here we go. 8,594 divided by, now this isn't the total, should be 22,413. I should actually take the total by adding them together. But that's over 1/3 of all the detectives are missing. South Africa doesn't have detectives. No wonder crimes don't get solved. Yeah. A Durban TikToker has shared a horrific personal story of having been raped. Now, this is difficult for anyone, male or female, to admit that they've been raped, and it's a horrific situation. No one should ever be forced to perform sexually or to be violated sexually in any respect whatsoever. This courageous young woman claims that she was raped recently in July, and she has gone to TikTok to tell people about the horrible experience she went on. She looks like a lovely lady. Durban TikToker shares why she chose to go public with her rape story. Now, I don't hope that she was raped, but I hope it's a genuine story and not an attention-seeking thing like we typically get on social media. She certainly knows how to do makeup to make herself look very attractive. While thousands of rape survivors suffer in silence following their harrowing ordeals, a brave young Durban woman chose to speak out. Reese Kelly Crawford, a well-known KZN TikToker, who often shares funny and blunt stories via the app. Last month, Crawford took to her personal account to share how she was raped by someone she knew personally. I've been going back and forth with myself on how to words this statement. How to word it. So I'm just going to put it out the best way I can. I know how to right now. Sunday, July 12th, I was raped. I was in an environment where I thought I would be safe and could trust people around me because it was my friend's family. She said she'd woken up at midnight and froze. You tell yourself if I was ever in the situation, this is what I would do until it actually happens to you. I just laid there and cried until it was over. She shared how she reported the matter while her attacker went into hiding. Suspect has since appeared in court. Investigations continue. When it first happened, I wanted nothing more than for him to be locked up, but my parents said I should stay silent as it could hurt the case. Wow. What a difficult and courageous thing to do. Again, I don't hope that she actually was raped, but I hope that this isn't a fraudulent story, and I'm not accusing her of that. But we've been punked before by these stories, and if in fact it did happen, horrible stuff. Horrible stuff. July 12th, the Action SA. That's the same day that this young lady was raped. A fiery Comrades meeting. You know the Comrades, the massive 50-mile ultra marathon from Pietermaritzburg to Durban and Durban to Pietermaritzburg. Lots of issues with someone accused of racism for his racist utterings. He gets off. Fiery Comrades meeting concludes with life ban for Sokola and Ngwenya cleared of racism allegations. Wow. According to the agenda, Ngwenya was accused of saying to former race and organizing manager Ann Ashworth that she was recruiting too many white volunteers and she was trying to return the Comrades Marathon Association to the era of apartheid. Apparently you can say that. That's okay. You can say that. You can publicly accuse somebody of racism and commit criminal injuria, as he did, and there's nothing wrong with it. Yes. The board denied that he made the alleged racist remark during a February board meeting. Oh, well, maybe he didn't make it. So why do they claim he made it? Multiple sources said that. Now they're changing. The minutes didn't form part of the meeting, and it was better of confirming that some of the contents of the meeting to verify that some of the discussions in terms of the context of that. What? So you have no minutes of the meeting? What kind of operation is this? Well, Mark Gay on the Times Live says it's time for the Springboks to wallop the Wallabies. Now, where do we hear somebody say wallop? Where did that? Oh, yeah, that's right. Last week, my analysis of the game, I said the Springboks wallop the Wallabies. And now it finds its way into a news article in South Africa. Coincidence or Joe-incidence, as Chandler Bing would say. Coach Rossi Erasmus has stressed the depth of quality in his squad. Here's hoping Perth confirms his optimism. Wallop those Wallabies and make history. Yep, it's about time we have a back-to-back victory in Australia. History beckons for a new generation of South African rugby internationals and being the first Springboks to win successive tests in Australia in the same year. So it's never been done. Really? That's crazy. Well, it is high time for it to happen. Well, Namibia makes a huge mistake. They're going to regret this as tourism numbers will decline. The government of Namibia has decided to fleece Western governments, tourists, out of money and cheat them by coming up with a visa scheme, playing the victim of racism here, claiming that people are not giving them access to their countries by requiring visas. Well, I understand, appreciate where Namibia is coming from, but the problem is that many of your travelers to the Western world are simply economic migrants who violate their visa applications. And that's why we have visa applications that cost money, because it takes time to process these things for the frauds. And that's unfortunate for the legitimate travelers, businessmen, students, and family members, and tourists. It's unfortunate for you. But too many people from your country are trying to slip in other countries. Just look at how many are in South Africa illegally. There are plenty of Namibians not in Namibia and somewhere else illegally. Starting on April 1st, 2025, travelers from non-African Union countries must pay a visa fee of 1,600 Rand, $90 US. Wow. The regional tourism sector is worried the move will deter many potential visitors. The tourism industry had no opportunity to voice its opinions or discussions and consultations. The Namibian government claims that this measure is a reciprocal action in response to Namibians not having visa-free access to 31 countries. Well, the U.S. is one of those countries they're targeting, and I will say this unequivocally. I had planned to go back to Namibia this coming year. No longer. Get stuffed, futsek. I'll not waste my time and money in Namibia when they pull this crap. Nope, no thank you. Well, there's a backlash as Botswana are angry that Botswana has asked for donations for athletes, claiming that their taxes should be paying for this. Well, that's wrong. Their taxes should not be paying for it. Their donations should be paying for it. BBC story by Claudia Efemini says that people in Botswana have reacted with outrage on social media after the government asked citizens to donate money to reward the country's historic gold medal winning Olympic team. Letsile Tebogo brought glory to Botswana after... Oh, where's N at? Where's N? Is N still here? Are you still here, N? I'm saying nice things about black people. Don't you like that? Don't you like that? We're already paying tax. Give our champions money from the government purse. Rage one user. No. That's nonsense. So you decide that the money that I paid goes to someone that I don't want to support. Wrong. That's not the purpose of tax money. That's not how it's supposed to work. You're not supposed to be funding athletes who are privileged, who have elite status, who get accolades and contracts and sponsorships because of their performance. It's not taxpayers' job to fund that. It's civil society's job to fund that. If you want to fund that through your church, your civic group, or a back-a-buddy program to raise money for these people, that's your prerogative. But it is not my job to pay. Nick Jordan says, if you're a tourist and can't afford $90, I guess the tourism industry won't suffer much. Most tourists will happily pay that. Normal big game hunter tourist. Yeah, you're right, but I'm not going to pay it. I'm not going to go back. It's spiteful. Why should I pay them $90 on all the positive things I've done for Namibia and helped while serving the U.S. military? They can get stuffed. I'm not going to pay that. That's spiteful nonsense. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Botswana fans trolling Noah Lyles. Wow. Fans in Botswana appeared to troll Noah Lyles as they welcomed Letsile Tebogo following his 200-meter victory in Paris. Tens of thousands gathered in Gaborone this past Tuesday to meet Tebogo. And on Tuesday, a video appeared on social media showing a man dressed in Botswana colors and carrying Tebogo's name, pushing another man in a wheelchair, looking like Noah Lyles, trying to be funny. The man being wheeled along the street feigned to be unconscious before bursting into life while fans sung and cheered and waved flags. His shirt was ripped across one shoulder just like Noah Lyles, according to an article by a local professor of linguistics. Can be used for someone who lacks respect for other human beings. Exactly. Following his victory in Paris, Tebogo branded his rival arrogant, insisting, I can't be the face of athletics because I'm not an arrogant or loud person like Noah. Fans of all ages wave Botswana's flag. Yep. Wow. Shame. That's disgraceful behavior. Noah Lyles' incredible performance, suffering from asthma and COVID, yet got a bronze medal in an Olympic event, in a sprinting event. That's absolutely amazing. United Nations office calls for Zimbabwe to stop its nonsense and release activists ahead of the SADC summit. United Nations Human Rights Office has joined calls for Zimbabwe's government to release more than 100 activists detained ahead of the Southern African Development Community's summit on Saturday. Speaking from the Voice of America from Nairobi, United Nations Human Rights Office spokesperson Sif Mangango said the organization is monitoring the situation. Well, you can monitor all you want. The crocodile is not going to accede to your desires or demands. Zimbabwe is a kleptocratic criminal state. Economic reforms are tempting finance to make its way back to both Ethiopia and Zambia. As the West has diverted aid to Ukraine and Gaza, Africa faces neglect. A few countries on the continent have panicked and turned to Russia, while the prudent are embracing economic reforms to attract foreign direct investment. Among the latter, those embracing economic reform, financial markets are most familiar with South Africa, Kenya, and Nigeria. In each, reform of the real economy is underway, but has hit the constraints of patronage politics. People don't trust their governments with the higher taxes. Without the state remains dependent upon rising debtness. Meanwhile, unnoticed by the markets, Ethiopia and Zambia are embracing sustainable reforms, in each case big enough to warrant investor interest. Wow. For 30 years, Ethiopia was ruled by a Tigrayan minority, the economy being self-sufficient to the point of paranoia. In 2011, then Prime Minister Meles Zenawi cautiously opened the economy to China. Well, Zambia is also attracting some foreign direct investment now. Thai Parliament has picked another member of a political dynasty to be its prime minister. Third member of the Shinawatra dynasty to be prime minister, Paetongtarn Shinawatra, the daughter of former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra, has become Thailand's new leader following a vote in parliament. Paetongtarn Shinawatra will be Thailand's new prime minister, the third member of her family to be granted the honor after she won a vote in the country's parliament. On Wednesday, the current prime minister was removed by the Constitutional Court because of what they claim was an illegitimate appointment of a member of his cabinet because of a criminal conviction. Wow. So the party, Putu, nominated her, whose father Thaksin and aunt have both served as prime minister. In Friday's vote in Parliament, Paetongtarn won 319 to 145. At 37 years old, she will be Thailand's youngest ever prime minister. She told reporters, "It's not the shadow of my dad. I'm my dad's daughter, always and forever, but I have my own decisions." Wow. After winning the party's nomination for the post on Thursday, Paetongtarn said the country has to move forward. We are determined together, and we will push the country forward. Well, let's hope so. Thailand is an important country. As Ukraine invades Russia, their invasion runs into a little trouble. I pointed this out already. They are susceptible to a pincer movement cutting off their salient. Kiev's troops are in trouble on the Eastern Front. Ukrainian soldiers are overmatched in some areas, and deployments in the trenches can stretch for months. As Ukrainian troops poured into Russia's Kursk region last week, 5 Russian assault troops on motorbikes were zipping toward Ukraine's front line hundreds of miles to the east. 2 of the bikers were gunned down, another turned back and fled, but the last 2 escaped into the trees looking for a place to hunker down and await reinforcements. This is one of the tactics Russia is using to take advantage of the vastly larger number of troops in the Donetsk region, Russia's primary target and site of intensified attacks. Yeah. Ukraine's Kursk operation has embarrassed Vladimir Putin and given Kiev the tactical initiative in one area for the first time in nearly a year. But it transferred troops and weapons from an already creaking front line to pull it off, a gamble that risks making a bad situation worse. "We don't have enough people to do our job properly," said the commander of the 21st Battalion, which faced the Russian assault last week. Well, here's some advice for the Ukrainian government. Travel to Germany, arrest and detain the 2 million pussies who fled from your country to avoid service in uniform. Go get the cowards hiding out in Germany and to put on the front line. Or end your conflict with Russia. You decide, Ukraine. It's not up to us. It's up to you. Well, Olympic gold medalist Imane Khelif, who's filing a lawsuit against the likes of Elon Musk, J.K. Rowling, and Donald Trump for hurting her feelings after beating up women in the boxing ring, has a new look. She's been made over. And no one's seeing her junk. Olympic champion boxer Imane Khelif shows off a dramatic new feminine makeover after winning gold medal in Paris, where her failed gender test sparked a huge row. She won gold in the women's 66 kg boxing competition at Roland Garros. There she is. There she is, Miss America. And you can see her there in the boxing ring. Considerably different look there, is it not? There you go. Poses in a pink floral outfit with matching earrings. Oh, isn't that so sweet? Isn't that so lovely? Oh, all right, fellas. Let's just do a poll. Be honest. Be honest. Let's be honest here. Where the heck is my poll? There we go. Let's be honest right here, folks. Okay. Would you you date I'm going to spell her name wrong because so I get there it is. Let's fix this. Now, nobody knows how you vote, so don't worry about that. We're going to do an informal poll. Would you date, or, of course, knock boots with Imane Khelif? All right? I get too many question marks there. Here's the poll, folks. Boom! There you go. Chance to answer. You can answer honestly if you find her attractive, if you find her appealing. Anyway, come on, folks. Also, let's stand behind Dreekus. Yeah, Dreekus is an Oz. Oh, man, what a brilliant video out there. Article. Reekus Nell was on this gorgeous patio overlooking Perth with the Springboks, many of them present, and then their girlfriends and spouses. And also, Dreekus was there. And I saw Joe Black also in the audience, and he sang Article. Yeah, it was brilliant. I can't play it here because it'll be a copyright strike guaranteed. But it is on Twitter, and I did share it in some of the WhatsApp groups. Absolutely brilliant stuff. A broke tourist, we call a tourist. I might have bitten off more than he can chew. Izzy is no easy fight, okay? Yeah, Dreekus, okay? And that's it. Boy, the chat is really slow today. What's going on? That's a poll for the men, says Valerie. No, well, I mean, ladies, you can vote too. The jury might suit you, Colonel. Should you want a career change, might produce questions in your community. What jewelry? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I didn't say I asked you to date me. I'm not wearing earrings. Vilma says no. Come on, folks. Come on. Where's the poll at? Why am I not seeing my poll? My poll is gone. I put a poll up. It's gone. No way. Oh, I didn't put a poll up at question. Oh, my goodness. Silly me. Wow. I didn't do a poll. I got so excited about Imane Khelif, excuse me. Imane Khelif. All right, yeah. So, sorry, I didn't do a poll. I did a question. I got so excited about it. I love the makeover. I love the floral print. I don't like floral prints. Yes, anyway, so it's up there now. If you want to vote in that. The radio is, what is this? I considered if I was a hermaphrodite. Also confused. Will you be dancing around this ball? Oh, there's also a great AI thing. This was this is fantastic. I don't know if you saw this on Twitter. This is fantastic, folks. By the way, I didn't finish the news, but we're having a little fun here. It's a Friday. It's a free Friday. It's a loose Friday. So let me get to this really quickly. That's the Reekus thing. Oh, come on. That's not what I'm looking for. Where the heck is this thing at? Oh, I know I saved it, didn't I? I thought I saved this thing. Maybe I didn't. I guess I didn't save it. But there's a fantastic thing on Elon Musk. It is it's an AI generated thing of Trump and Musk dancing to the Bee Gees. Oh, it's hilarious. It's actually those famous TikTokers that like to do that. That white chick and the black guy like to dance. What the heck? Let me go see if I can find that real quick. That is just too funny. Let's go to X, not the porn site, but I'm gonna look for at Elon Musk. To Elon Musk. Actually, I put on my profile. Probably quicker to find because he's posting so much. Okay. Oh, we got all those pedos from South Asia attacking British girls. Man, so many of them. Where the heck is this? There it is. Okay, there we go. Okay, here we go. Let's bring this over here. This is fantastic. This is fantastic. I love this, folks. She'll punch me in the ring. Here you go. So this is on Twitter, on X, and Elon Musk and Donald Trump. I can't play the audio. I'll play a few seconds of it, but this is just brilliant. Here we go. I'm a woman's man. No time to talk. Music loud when they walk. Oh, that is brilliant. Look at that. Staying alive, whether you're a mother, whether you're a brother, staying alive, I love it. It is so brilliant. Oh, that is what that really gave a smile to my face last night. It's so funny. That is so funny. Oh my goodness. Saturday Night Fever video. That is brilliant. That is just that, folks. I'm sorry. That makes your weekend right there. That's so funny. Anyway, while you decide whether you want to date Imane Khelif, let's get back to the terrifying, the frightening development that's happening across Europe. As 19 people have now been infected with sloth fever. No, your camera's not slowed down. I'm acting at the pace of a sloth. But apparently the terrifying news from the European Centers for Disease Control that sloth fever is on the prowl. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's not enough to give us monkeypox. Now we have sloth fever. Wow. What's next? Hamster, I don't know what to call it. Hamster fever? No, we're not calling it fever. Hamster syndrome. It has something to do with, anyway, I won't say that. Hamster, if you remember that rumor from the 80s and 90s. Whew, hamsters. Yeah, it's hamster fever, hamster syndrome. Nope, terrifying sloth fever virus has spread to an entire 19 victims. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a terrifying development. Europe has only 746 million people, and 19 already have sloth fever. The debilitating virus originating in sloths and spread by insect bites, including midges and mosquitoes, has been reported for the first time in Europe. The Oropouche virus has been reported in 19 people in the past 2 months. 19 people. 12 in Spain, 5 in Italy, and 2 in Germany. There's no vaccine. Ooh, it originates in pale-throated sloths. Sloth fever. But this is no disease to joke about, folks. Joint pain, intense headaches, aching eyes, numb arms. Doctors reveal frightening symptoms hitting victims and how it could spread to the UK. Potentially deadly disease, which originated in sloths. Sloth virus. Oh, monkeypox, sloth fever. What are we going to do, folks? The world is going crazy. And you know why? I'll tell you why. Do you know why? Stop. I know what it is. Do you know what it is? Come on. You know why this is happening, right? You know why Kamala Harris is in the lead. You know why sloth fever is in Europe. You know why monkeypox is in the bowels of San Francisco. No pun there. In the sewage system of San Francisco. Do you know why it's happening? There's one explanation for all of this. Can somebody tell me what it is? I know you know what it is. Tell me what it is, folks. Why is all this happening? There's only one answer to this. Only one answer. And I'll tell you, there's 2 words to it. And of course, I'll preface the answer with this rendition of our favorite activist, Greta Thunberg. You destroy the world. It's climate change. Ladies and gentlemen, climate change. Climate change is responsible for the conflict in Ukraine, the conflict in Mali, Niger, Mauritania, Nigeria, Somalia, Mozambique, Myanmar, in the Democratic Party, within the ANC, for sloth virus, for monkeypox outbreaks, and for the spread of all that is evil. Climate change. Climate change is the reason. My goodness. Yeah. Who was busy with a sloth? My goodness. Well, the Secret Service has approved, like we give 2 flips about what the Secret Service does, since now we know they break into people's beauty salons and and commit trespass and commit larceny by stealing their bathrooms. These are evil people who are not the patriots that everyone makes them out to be. Oh, they'll take a bullet for the president. Yeah, after he's been shot. Yeah. You're going to say, oh, you're denigrating Secret Service. Well, the problem with that is that good agents of Secret Service are being tainted by this opaque, dishonest, corrupt, inept organization that either was complicit in the assassination attempt of Donald Trump or is negligent to the degree that they not only should be fired but prosecuted for the negligence. It's one of the two. There's no in between. One of the two. Secret Service has approved new plans for Trump to continue outdoor rallies. Hey, here's a question, folks. Will Donald Trump get a Pope mobile? Has anyone asked that question? I've not heard one analyst ask the question. When will Donald Trump get a Pope mobile? The Trumpster and his Pope mobile. I can see it now. Driving down the streets of Philadelphia in his Pope mobile. In a first for the 2024 campaign, the agency will use bulletproof glass to shield the Republican nominee, as well as other technical security measures that have not normally been provided for presidential candidates. Secret Service approved a new security plan to better protect President Trump at outdoor campaign events. The effort comes after the Secret Service has urged the campaign to temporarily pause having Trump appear at outdoor rallies after a gunman fired multiple shots and hit him. He was shot in the head. People seem to have forgotten that. It has now been over 1 month and 3 days since the plot to murder President Trump failed. The Secret Service is yet to give us a press briefing. The Secret Service is yet to divulge any details. Government agencies responsible for this have gone silent. Why is the FBI, Department of Homeland Security, Congress, and the Secret Service silent on the plot to kill President Trump? Who is involved? How far does it go? How high does it reach? These are questions that the public wants to know. How is it that conveniently the team in the room that saw that roof conveniently left that room? Both people left the room at the same time while Trump was on stage. Can that be coincidence or coordinated plot to murder the president? Unbelievable. Well, Kamala Harris's election interference deserves to be prosecuted under federal election law. Her campaign is interfered in elections, and there's no action being taken by the feral Department of Injustice and the corrupt Biden regime. Why? Because the fix is in. The Democrats interfere in our elections, and there are no consequences. This is worse than any of the claims of Macedonian server farms or Russian interference on Facebook. This is a direct assault on our democracy committed by a sitting vice president. A sitting vice president. They claim January 6th was an insurrection. Of course, we know that's horse manure. That's actually not what happened. Only demonic people with juvenile emotional responses see that as an insurrection. However, this is clearly an effort to undermine elections. What is going on? And why is the country not up in arms about this? The Harris campaign's fake online headlines draw a lawsuit threat and charges of peddling lies to voters. It's also election interference. A radio station is contemplating a lawsuit against Vice President Harris' campaign over its practice of altering headlines in online ads to make it appear that news outlets are supporting her bid for the White House. Campaign ethics experts call the ad campaign manipulation sloppy and a threat to It's not sloppy, it's criminal. Wow. Steve Hallstrom, president and managing partner of Fieldstone Group, which operates WDAY Radio in Fargo, North Dakota, said the Harris campaign lied to every single person who saw the ad. They're running a pro-honesty, pro-democracy campaign, and this sloppy behavior that runs against the core of what they're trying to do, according to Peter Lodge, who teaches ethics at George Washington. Well, Peter Lodge teaches at a liberal institution and obviously is covering for the Democrats. Be more honest, what they have done violates federal election law. They have violated and interfered in elections. This is criminal activity. It's not simply sloppy. It's criminal. Wow. The Harris campaign, of course, did not respond to multiple requests for comment. The ethics experts said the tactic is misinformation. Misinformation that could confuse voters and contribute to further mistrust and threats to democracy. The Harris campaign intended to mislead potential voters by changing news coverage to present their candidate more positively. This is an attempt to manipulate voters by essentially by lying to them, said Chrysalis Wright, director of Media and Migration Lab at the University of Central Florida. Now, there is an honest person. Thank you for sharing that. Why is the audience shrinking? My feelings are hurt. Keith says, my personal opinion on ease of disease takeover is the human race is now 250 generations into its existence with an average of 3 mutations per generation. Babies form miraculously from... Yeah. Well, the problem is there's just too many victims. We have 8 billion people, lots of targets out there. 8 billion people. So, okay, let's see. We got 40 votes. I'm going to end the poll there. And 40 votes. And so 85% of folks said, nope, not going to do it. Mike says the boxer is being used by handlers and keeping it in the news cycle. Yep. Yeah, Saturday Night Fever video is awesome. They must just stop playing with all those viruses, weaponizing them. There you go. I think that Sloth thing right now usually gets it Friday afternoons. Too much for Keith. Can't think more than the Sloth thing allows me to. Too many slip-ups. Assassination down, cover-up supported by mainstream media, manipulation of election. Yep, that too. Yeah, they noticed that Joe Biden didn't drop out of the election until after the failed assassination plot against Donald Trump. I think the Democrats are still surprised that he isn't dead. I think we're all surprised he isn't dead. That was a close call. Alex Stockel, welcome, Alex. Good to see you again. And this is the shirt I'm wearing today. For those who are curious, on a Friday, what am I wearing? That's my T-shirt today. Yep. Assassination, denial, and cover-up. That's what's going on. Nick says, maybe because everything is a bit anal these days. But Nick, back to your point about the $90 for a visa to enter Namibia. You're right. Tourists who are going to spend thousands of dollars to fly all the way to Namibia are going to spend the $90. So they're going to get the money. And that's probably why I'm angry about it, because they're fleecing people out of money. Why should I pay for one night's hotel stay, which cuts my trip short by one night, to a corrupt government that's going to steal the money and misuse it? Nope. JB's bodysuit is getting a little tatty. By the way, have you guys seen that furor over... let's talk about that. Do I finish the news? Gosh, I don't even know if I finished the news. Nope, got a couple more stories here. Ominous signs on the anniversary of Joe Biden's shameful conduct in Afghanistan. A good reminder as the election comes up. Soldiers and scholars reflect on the chaotic end and troubled aftershocks from America's longest war. U.S. Army Sergeant Xanthan Luptik vividly recalls watching on television as the chaotic final days of America's military withdrawal from Afghanistan unfolded in August 2021. In his mind, it was crystal clear exactly what his country had to show for 20 years' worth of combat in Afghanistan, the longest war in American history, a $2.3 trillion campaign that claimed the lives of thousands of U.S. troops and injured many others. It was all boiled down to nothing in a week. Sergeant Luptik, a veteran of both Iraq and Afghanistan wars, helped train Afghan police forces. I'm still angry every time it comes up. I'm able to handle it better now, but it really upsets me and angers me. I think about my time over there, all the people I worked with, the people I've trained, the friends I met, the people I served with. I feel like everything was reduced down to being a pawn in the game. His bleak view of Afghanistan is not uncommon among those who served there. Up and down the ranks of American military, there's a simmering undercurrent of deep emotional turmoil tied to the war, along with an even bloodier conflict in Iraq, defined a generation of service members, but also sparked more fundamental questions about what the world's number one superpower can and should try to achieve in the 21st century. To even a casual observer, it's easy to see why the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan, the way it was conducted, and its aftermath may be feeling a wave of psychological trauma that veterans, organizations, government agencies, the American Medical Committee, and veterans themselves will be dealing with for decades to come. Well, more importantly, our national reputation, our dependability as an alliance partner, and our national treasure pissed down the drain by a corrupt, venal, demented lunatic wearing diapers who cannot string two sentences together, and who got 14.5 million fools to vote for him in this year's Democratic primaries. Not that that mattered, as the Democrats have stolen the nomination from Joe Biden. Wind beat coal 2 months in a row for electricity generation. Whoop-de-doo. Shift occurred as the cost of wind power and other renewable energy is rapidly declining. Coal is being pushed out by natural gas. That's because coal is being made more expensive by taxes and by fees placed on the coal industry. So it doesn't make the wind generation more profitable. It doesn't make it more financially viable. The war on coal makes it more viable. The crossover in wind and coal generation is the latest milestone in the country's energy transition as renewables rise and coal declines. Yeah, and it still makes up less than 10% of our energy consumption globally. What a comical joke. As U.S. coal plants shutter, there's a renewed focus on nuclear. We're going to need an additional 200 gigawatts of nuclear power to reach net zero emissions by 2050. It's the Department of Energy. 200 gigawatts of nuclear power. Good luck getting that going. Don't think we're going to have that happen anytime soon. Yeah. But what I want to talk about now is Anna Paulina. Anna Paulina. Yep. Let's see what the people are freaking out over this. So here we go. So here's an artistic image. Whoops, that's not what I want. Come back here. Here we go. This is an artistic image that someone put up of Anna Paulina Luna. That's pretty cool. Yeah, the left is melting down, and they're forgetting all the stuff. So, yeah, so here you go. Here she is. And the left just hates when attractive women accomplish things. Look at that. There she is. Now, these are pictures from like 8 years ago, and they're losing their mind. Absolutely losing their mind. They're saying she shouldn't be in Congress. Really? Of course, that's not all there is of Anna Paulina Luna. This is her when she served in the Air Force. And it's just melting their brains down. Melting their brains down. They just cannot handle it. So this is one of the ones that got it all started. Here she is 8 years ago, before she was in Congress. The Mexican heritage American is melting down the left. Now this is one of the better photos. This is a really good photo here. Brian says his comment was removed. Nope, not by us. Must have been by YouTube. Now, this is what Democrats do. This is what they do. This is the Democratic aide getting anal injection in the Senate. This is what they do. This person didn't go to jail for their conduct. That's what Democrats do. And it goes on and on. I'm trying to find the one that shows, there's another one here. I mean, this is her when she's posing for Maxim, I think it is, or Sports Illustrated. She was a model. And one can see why. Trying to find it. So by contrast, on the beach, when you have Anna Paulina Luna like that, this is Rob Reiner on the beach. Oh, dear God. I don't know what's wrong with you, Eric, Arctic, Anna, Boebert. That woman is not attractive. And here you go. There's Nancy Pelosi on the beach. To be fair, she's 1,000 years old. Oh, my goodness. There's the other one here. I'm trying to find the Democrat who was twerking on the beach. There you go. Yeah. Rhode Island State Senator Tiara Mock was twerking on the beach for your votes. That was their campaign video. That's what Democrats do. And they have a problem with Anna Paulina Luna just looking dead attractive. Now, here's a breaking story. I love this meme. A breaking Anna Paulina Luna wore Ray-Bans reportedly purchased online. No, Boebert doesn't look better in a bikini. I don't know what planet you're on. I don't know what planet you're on. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. What's this? So. Yeah, this is what I want. Yeah, here you go. This is Democrats. Democrats are saying that she's weird from a 2016 photo. And those are the Democrats under the Biden regime on the right-hand side. That's what we've gotten from Democrats. That's how they behave. That's who they are. And they say that Anna Paulina Luna is weird. The Republicans are weird. These people are sick. They are sick. Here you go. These are Democrats. Those are Democrats. Stolen valor there by Rachel Levine. Not an admiral. Appointed an admiral. Never served in uniform. Wow, this is Anna Paulina Luna published this back in January of last year. This is how she's treated by the media.
What, Judge? Do you need anything?
Oh, hello. Is there anything like a puppy?
Who's that? Thank you, guys.
Zach just with the devil. A couple questions about this letter. Are you a witch? I mean, that's what the letter printed, right? From Holland at night.
Hey guys, would you mind someone walking outside?
What you doing?
Just to the car.
Where's your car?
I have to get my children down to Freeman.
Yeah.
So a member of Congress has to ask the Capitol Police for an escort to her car because they're allowing journalists into the Rayburn office building to harass her physically. Not assault, but harass her physically. Wow. Unbelievable. So, yep. Anyway. Trying to find, they're not showing me this twerking thing. Anyway, well, here's another picture of her. This is from Maxim, I believe, or Sports Illustrated. Yeah, weird, not. They're just jealous. They got penis envy. They do. They sure do. That's the problem. They got penis envy. This is one of the ones I like the best. This one's pretty cool. Check that one out. Yeah, that's a cool shot there. I like that one. That's all fake, of course. That's not real. No one dresses like that. And those are Army fatigues, not Air Force fatigues. But anyway, you get the point. Cool stuff. Anyway, cool stuff. So this is Anna Paulina talking to Harris at the airport a while back.
You're not commenting on this issue. You are directly impacting the Hispanic demographic in a negative way. You are directly impacting what is happening with the children in this country, and you are not doing what you're supposed to be doing as a representative, representing women in this country. Shame on you.
Did you see that? Kamala Harris actually touched her, pushed her back. I don't know when that was. That says 2020, but yeah. Anyway, wow. Oh, here it is. Here we go. Finally got it. Got it finally. Here we go. So this is the TikToker twerking. She's a senator from Rhode Island. This is a Democrat. Look at this. That's beautiful.
Vote Senator Mack.
Vote Senator Mack. Twerking on the beach with that inordinately large bum. Wow. Wow. That's something else. Wow. I like this. This is a good little panel here we can talk about here. Republican freedom. Democrat socialism. Republican gratitude for America. Democrat apologize for America. Republican secure border. Democrat open border. Republicans defend police. Democrats defund police. Abolish MS-13 gangs. Abolish immigration customs enforcement for Democrats. Lower taxes, raise taxes. Legal immigration, illegal immigration. Personal responsibility, government control. All lives matter. Some lives matter. You choose your doctor, government choose your doctor. Implement voter ID, non-citizens vote. Keep your guns, government takes your guns. Anti-abortion, pro-full-term abortion. That says it all. I'm going to save that image. That's a fantastic bulletin, whoever put that one together. Yep, that's on her channel. Yep. So I'm looking to see something else. Anything else you want to show you here from her? Anyway, they are really just, really so demonically possessed. They can't help themselves. Attractive women really make them nervous. The Anna Paulina Luna thing. That's really something else. Wow. Anyway, there you go, folks. That's pretty interesting, huh? It's pretty interesting, don't you think? Don't you think? I think so. Marilyn's here. She doesn't like that twerking. Wonder where she bought that swimsuit at Rent-A-Tent. Oh, Monray. Aish. Butt budgie. At least now we know what posters Chris has in his bedroom. Look, I mean, before I saw these photographs, I didn't like Anna Paulina Luna. I thought that she was a big mouth and she was not very bright. Didn't know much about her. The first time she really came to my attention is she ran for office and people talked about a TikToker running for office. I'm like, whatever. And then when she was part of the cabal that unseated Kevin McCarthy, I was like, oh, okay. because I was in favor of that cabal. Kevin McCarthy was a rhino and needed to go. He claims he's a conservative, but he's not. Anyway, so I didn't really pay much attention to her, but I paid a lot more attention to her of late. And now that I've seen these photographs of her Maxim days and her Sports Illustrated days, I'm paying a lot more attention to her. That's not twerking, it's a Shake Shack. I'm allowed enough to admit I'll vote for her just because she's hot. There you go, Carl. You're shallow enough. Okay. Well, there you go. That chap stole the luggage was a joke. Yep. Yes, Nick Jordan, the U.S. is like the new South Africa. Everything evil in South Africa has come to America, and we have it. Captain Kangaroo Levine. Yeah, anyway. Lauren Boebert, let me find that. I mean, look, Boebert, ugh. Have you seen her in a bikini? Let's see. There's pictures of her floating around. Okay, here you go. All right, so I'm going to put these side by side, okay? And, okay, Arctic says that Lauren Boebert is his dream gal there. That is Anna Paulina Luna, okay? And this is Lauren Boebert. I'm sorry, but I can't forgive that juvenile tattoo. And that is not an attractive woman. I'm sorry. Yep, James Forn or something says that tattoo is unfortunate. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's not attractive. Sorry, folks. Doesn't do it for me. Doesn't do it for me. Yeah, let me play this real quick, a few seconds of it. I won't get a copyright thing, but I'll put it on silent, then I'll turn the sound on. This is Rika Snell in Perth with the Springboks and Joe Black. When Joe Black comes on, I'll play the sound, but he doesn't sing. So that's Rikus, and Dreekus is there as well. There's Sia from behind, and there's Joe Black. So here we go. But still there's Sia. And here comes Joe Black. There's Joe Black, man. Check it out. That's not Joe Black. Oh, my goodness. Anyway, yeah, so that was pretty exciting to see that take place. Cool. Tramp stamp is not one that goes up the side. Like tramp stamp is what goes on the lower back down here, just above the panty line. Yep. And Carl has no problem with the tattoo. Okay. She can sit on my lap if she sits nicely, says me. First world headlines catching up with third world. Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about that, ladies and gentlemen. We are declining into nonsense, to say the very least. Let me see if there's any breaking news that's come out while we've been online. Who knows what could be happening right now? The world could be on fire for all we know. Harris's economic plan features new tax cuts, housing incentives, and price caps. So, do you honestly believe the Democrats are going to cut taxes? When is the last time a Democrat has cut taxes? They're just stealing Donald Trump's playbook. It's comical. It's comical. Oh, my goodness. Jordan Childs breaks her silence on being stripped of her bronze medal. Okay. Vice President Kamala Harris will unveil a new package of economic proposals that she would prioritize in the first 100 days. They include a ban on corporate price gouging, which is illegal. She'd have to have a law to do that. So I don't know how she's going to do that. So that's going to lower the price of groceries and prescription drugs. That's nonsense. These demon rats don't understand how economics work. You can't price control your way out of things. In an effort to tackle stubbornly high prices of groceries, she'll work with Congress to advance the first ever federal ban on corporate price gouging. That was not going to happen. It's illegal. And by the way, she's had 3 years to do this. Her and her compatriot in destroying the world and America have caused these price increases. Then she would help cash-strapped renters by blocking data firms from hiking lease rates and by preventing Wall Street investors from buying homes in bulk to sell premium. What the hell is this? So she's going to undermine the capital markets, undermine the economy. She called for the government to construct 3 million new housing units. No. It's not our job to build houses. This isn't South Africa. This is nonsense. She would seek to expand the Biden administration $35 price cap on insulin for Medicare so that we pay for higher prices for other drugs. Yeah. And she says tax cuts. She would expand the child tax credit. That's a subsidy to have more children for illegal aliens. That's bullshit. No. And she proposed tax relief of $6,000 for families with a newborn. Again, this is giving breaks to people for reproducing, not for contributing to the economy. This is unbelievable. It is a shell game. It is shocking, but it's not. I mean, it's ironic to hear Democrats say they're going to do things that they'll never do. What time is the rugby tomorrow and who's playing? Well, rugby is today, Charmaine. Rugby is today at 5 p.m. South Africa time in about 40 minutes. I'll be live on Rugby Ascendant for the Bulls in Nelspruit against the Pumas. Tomorrow's rugby is at 5:30, well, 5:45, but I'll be on at 5:30 in the morning my time, which would make it 11:30 South Africa time in the morning. Yep. I don't care. They're all tramp stamps, says Brian. It's only a tramp stamp if you've left behind. Exactly. Okay. Yep. Sure enough. And the sheeple D rank and file just drink her plagiarized Kool-Aid like arguing with the TV. Exactly. It's exactly right. Mike, have you seen this? We have billboards all over here in central Pennsylvania. I'm a Republican voter. I'm a former Trump voter, and I'm voting for Kamala Harris. Have you seen those ads? I get them all the time on Roku. I get them all the time on YouTube. I get them all the time on billboards here in central Pennsylvania. All these actors pretending to be Republicans. I'm a Republican voter. I voted for Reagan, and I'm voting for Kamala Harris. No, you're not. You're a soy boy. It's a lie. It's amazing how the Dems think everybody's stupid. They do think everybody's stupid. And James, 40% of the country apparently is pretty stupid. Yep. Soros money, exactly. People actually believe that garbage. It's funny. It's sad, but it's also funny. Anyway, folks, I got to tell you, it's crazy. So I'm looking forward to a big rugby weekend. I think I might get myself some crabs tonight, steamed crabs. No, not the ones you have to scratch for, but the ones you claw apart. Oh, boy, that story about steamed crabs, the Maryland blue crabs all over the Mediterranean. I'm excited to go back to Italy and eat crabs, man. But I have to take my own, Old Bay seasoning because I don't think they had to steam them properly. The bulk's at 11:30. That's what I just said, Arctic Precision. I guess the chat is a little bit behind my statement. Yeah, 5:30 my time, 11:30 your time, 10:30 in the UK. The New Zealand game. Hang on a second. I hadn't thought about watching that one because it's in New Zealand. So New Zealand versus Argentina. Rugby, let's see. That game didn't show me when. Where's the data? Come on. It's at 7:05 local time, 8:05 British Standard Time, 7:05 Greenwich Mean Time. So I'm confused now. British Standard Time. How is that different than Greenwich Mean Time? Anyway, let's see. So, God bless it. I'll just do it this way. Flow Rugby. See what Flow tells me. I'll go to anti-flow. Ooh, come on. Can somebody just give me my time it's on? Come on. Looking. 2:53 in the morning my time, which means it's 3 o'clock in the morning. It's 9 o'clock South Africa. So it's on before the Springboks. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get up for that. Hey, what could be worse for New Zealand than losing Argentina? Losing Argentina in back-to-back test matches in New Zealand. Oh, my goodness. The All Blacks had not been beaten for 30 years in one of these venues. New Zealand has never been conquered inside the fortress of Eden Park since France did so in the summer of 1994 with 47 victories and 2 draws in the time against 12 different opponents. No matter how the All Blacks have been performing going to the match, they always seem to enter with another gear when they play at their de facto home ground. But that run has to come to an end sometime. Will it be this year? Won't hold my breath on that. Wow. For decades, a New Zealand-Argentina test was a foregone conclusion before it even began. Whether it was a tour from one of the teams, the Rugby Championship or the World Cup, the All Blacks never lost a match to the Pumas from their first recognized test in 1985 to 2020. 29 consecutive matches. But since Argentina finally ended that reign of dominance with its first victory of the All Blacks in 2020, the Pumas have shown that this is a new era for both teams, for better or worse. I agree, for better or worse. It is definitely a new era for this stuff. Fascinating stuff. Anyway, yep. Saber-tooth crotch crickets. What? Heard of any post office burning down suspiciously just in time for mail-in ballots? No, I haven't. Make sure you eat crabs, don't catch crabs. Exactly. Yeah, so it's 9 a.m. South Africa time. So you can watch the All Blacks, and then you can get up and watch the Springboks. I might get up and watch it. I'll think about it. It's 3 a.m. I was up at 3 a.m. this morning. I was tired yesterday afternoon, fell asleep after a long day of work. But yeah, maybe I'll do that. So let's see. Today, I got the rugby coming up after this. I'm going to see if I can get in the press conference because there's no game after that. So maybe I'll do the press conference after the game. And if it's available on Zoom from the Bulls. And then when it cools off today, maybe cut some grass. But before that, I'll get crabs, eat the crabs, then cut the grass, then get a nap, then get up and cover the games. Catch release only. Now, you got arc precision. I've given you the time now. Yeah, no, Democrats do think everybody's stupid. They really do. 81 likes, folks. 66 people currently here. Something slow going on a Friday. You notice I get a lot more people who discover my channel when I'm doing mobile live streams. I used to do a few of those on my porch. Remember that? I just might start doing that again when it cools off a little bit as we get into the fall weather. Yeah, we'll see about that. Anyway, just trying to take a look at something here very quickly and see how my video from last night did. Floyd Shavambu. Is that all? I thought there was more. 2,700 views. Well, I didn't do any work on it. That was part of my stream. People seem to think that was funny. I thought it was pretty funny. It was shared on Twitter. Anyway, yeah, so. First world headlines catching up with. Yeah, it absolutely is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap it up here for this Friday news. Have a lekker Friday. And we'll see you hopefully on Rugby Ascendant. Actually, let me just give you a redirect to that now, just in case, because I've set it up so I can redirect. Let me see. Edit this. Customization. And we'll try to get you to redirect over to that. You'll have a break. It'll be a little while. Oh, it's not there. Oh, this is ridiculous. YouTube playing difficult again. There it is. Finally found it. Okay. All right, so it's there now. You'll get a break, but your browser will and your app will take you over to that automatically when this is over. Time to clean the crap out of my mind for some time to listen to rugby. Okay, Mike, that's great. The rugby should be exciting. It's the Bulls. You can see the Bulls flag is right back there. I'll get my jersey, and we'll just got notification for the rugby from YouTube. But that's good, Charmaine. That's 30 minutes prior. It's supposed to be that way. That's how it's supposed to work. So you'll get redirected there if you want to take a break, get something. Sloth fever getting to all of us. Yeah, we're a little slow in our minds. Anyway, Green Phantom, hello to you. We're saying goodbye. Thanks for being here. Tomorrow's news, not sure if we'll get to it. Maybe a night owls if I'm not knackered tomorrow because I've got rugby from 3 o'clock in the morning until 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 12 hours of rugby. That's going to be rough. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, thanks for being here, folks. God bless. Have a lovely weekend. Be safe out there. Don't take any wooden nickels. Where is my wooden nickel? I got to find it. I got it here somewhere. Someone gave me a wooden nickel from the 1960s. I've got it. I want to show it to you. Someone kept it their entire life, and because I say it all the time, they gave it to me, and I promised to show it on air, so we got to do that. All right, so first off, before I go, I want to leave you with a horrible image. Ooh, it's Timmy Walz. Timmy Walz. Stolen valor, Timmy Walz. Yeah, anyway, that's it. We're going to do it. Cheers, everybody. Be safe out there. And hopefully I'll see you on Rugby Senate. Bye-bye.